You're listening to Mixing Mindsets. I'm Andrew Blank.
And I'm Eric Navrosky, and we hope you find some value out of these conversations about lifestyle, music, and more.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Mixing Mindsets. Today we're here with Chris Milligan. We're going to talk about being a hobby artist. Chris, we've just met maybe for like 5 minutes at this point now, and you already seem like the coolest dude ever.
You too, man.
Thank you. Thank you.
I know a lot about what you do with Eric, so
Right on.
I feel as though I have known you.
Yeah,
before
it's
today.
like we've known each other, but
Chris is pretty fly.
He seems like a
guys.
very fly guy.
Yeah, pretty fly for a white guy.
This is starting great. Thank you.
Well, today we want to talk about you and your artistry and being a hobby artist. So if you just want to start by giving us the definition of what that is.
Yeah, so that term hobby artist, loosely made up very recently here. I don't want to reduce myself to being a hobby artist, but I just use that term to describe, someone who's making music with no proper end goal, not looking for the views, fame, whatever you want to call it. Just kind of like enjoying the process, making music just to
We talk about that a lot.
make music.
You do it because you love it.
Exactly. Absolutely.
That's fantastic.
Absolutely.
And I think at least for me, I feel like there definitely at least has to be some type of not necessarily an end goal, but like more so like maybe little goals in between.
Well, I guess that would be the music.
Yeah, exactly.
So
True.
you and I have been working together for a while now. Started with the Hooligans.
Yes.
Shout out
Mount Airy Hooligans.
Mount Airy Hooligans.
There we go.
Kind of tell us a little bit about the Hooligans.
Yeah. So first, I can't say it's my first music project, but the first time I met Eric, the first time I came to you with a musical endeavor,
Some tunage.
Yeah.
was through the project, the Mount Airy Hooligans rap project, hip hop project with my friend Blake.
Yeah.
Started in, 8th grade recording rap songs on our cell phones.
All right.
And
It's sick.
Yeah.
The Hooligans is sick.
All right.
I quote it all the time, actually. Quote you guys constantly.
yeah, so that was like, kind of my main focus for a while. But life gets in the way of things.
happen.
Hooligans kind of took a little unexpected or unplanned hiatus, if you will.
Yeah.
But I just couldn't stay away from the
It's my
studio.
charm.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's
Said
not
you
about
have
the
that
studio.
appeal. There's something about you, dude.
No, I couldn't stay away from coming to the studio and spending an hour or two making something.
Which morphed into
full on instrumental singing, drums, kind of dabbling in everything.
solo music.
Solo music, yes.
Yes. And at this point in time, you have not released anything. Although we
No.
finished a couple things. I'm not gonna say anything.
Yes.
Well, I won't spoil anything, but we did finish a couple things.
Right.
And you're just kind of sitting on and waiting it. We have a couple other things to do.
Yep.
But it's really cool. And are you gonna release this as Chris Milligan? Or are you
I am.
maybe you don't know yet. Oh, okay, yeah.
I definitely will. Obviously, the goal is to share what you're making with your friends, your
Right.
family.
Right.
But this, I don't want to take it too seriously. So I feel like just coming up with an album title or like a project title, a mixtape title.
Right.
That's almost taking it to a level of seriousness that I'm not intentionally trying to avoid.
Right.
But I think that kind of goes back to
The hobby.
it being just more of like a hobby. Like
Yeah.
I don't want to go into it thinking this song's going to be named this. Now let's go in and record it. Or like this album's going to be called this. Now let's go track those vocals or whatever. So
It almost feels like there's something very freeing about that, and it feels like almost like it takes away all of the anxiety of like, oh, I have to put this out and it has to be good.
Yeah.
And it's got to reach all these people.
Definitely.
No, I feel like when you throw that out and you're just like, yeah, I'm here to just.
It makes music fun again.
Yeah, absolutely. And I
Right.
think that's such like a beautiful thing.
I also think that's reflected within the music. Like,
I
coming.
appreciate that.
Yes, just coming from my perspective of knowing the songs and hearing them, they have such a good vibe to it, I guess.
Thanks.
It's not too serious. It doesn't feel too serious. And the lyrics have a quirkiness to them that are still super well thought out. And I commend you for your writing lyrically because it's dope. But there's still a quirkiness to it, right? I think you would agree.
Sure. And that's probably me trying to hold on to some bit of like avoidance of taking it too seriously.
Yeah.
But it's fun.
Absolutely.
It makes it fun.
Absolutely. No.
You know?
It's funny because I feel like as an artist striving for certain songs like that, it's almost like sometimes you need people like Chris in order to
Everybody needs Chris.
Yeah.
Oh, stop.
to kind of like facilitate that funness, especially when you're like when you're goal oriented, but you're trying to not be. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Like you want to make it sound like you don't care, but really you care a lot. You need Chris's mentality.
Yeah, I've noticed a big difference from when you come into the studio to potentially other people coming into the studio. I never feel like, oh man, Chris is coming. You know, it's a stressful. I need to be super prepared, and so everything needs to be so perfect. I always feel like when you come, it's just, hey, let's just hang out, record some music,
Absolutely.
have a good time.
Yeah.
And
that's why I love coming.
Yeah, that makes it so much fun. And I quoted you in an earlier episode.
I was hoping you brought this up.
Amen, brother.
I blushed so hard when I heard that.
Quoted you in an earlier episode where you said, go ahead.
I was there at the studio and we were listening back to what we recorded that day, and I was excited. I was happy with how it came out. And I said, coming here is like paying for the admission of an amusement park.
Yes.
You spend
Eric said
some
that
money.
a ton.
And I didn't realize it resonated with you so much.
It absolutely
I'm happy
did.
it did, but it's so true. Like I wasn't saying that to make you feel good.
You didn't say that to me either.
Oh, I said it to Blake
said,
at the time.
Did you?
I'm sure. Maybe he was in the studio with me that day.
I think you said it to Starving.
Oh, then
There's another band that I work with called Starving Hysterical Naked. They're awesome, very much like the Front Bottoms. But you were there was a crossover time where they were practicing and you were coming in after the practice.
Yep.
And you said that to one of them.
it's true.
And you didn't even say it to me, but I heard it and I was like, man, that makes me feel so good.
Absolutely.
you spend some money, obviously, but you have such a good time. And you go to an amusement park, you leave with
Spend money.
a stuffed animal
right.
or a picture of you screaming on a roller coaster.
It's like you left for a day and you're like, I needed that. And
Exactly.
It just brings all this joy and,
Right.
and positivity back into you. And kind of like, there's like a resurgence.
Get in the car, aux cable goes in, listening
Yeah.
to
What you did?
the demo I did or the
Yeah.
final version of the mix. Like,
Right.
so it's it's like a souvenir to take home from
That is so
amusement
exciting.
park.
I love that.
Yeah, that's so cool. It's so exciting to me, and I sometimes you lose that in
You lose that
bigger projects.
I was going to say, with the more, I guess the more like big deal things get, the more you start like stressing about it.
Yeah, and I understand you
Right.
want to have the best for your music,
Absolutely.
and I still think at the end of the day, we create some pretty amazing work. Best,
love it.
best
Absolutely.
work.
I think so,
I
too.
guess. I don't want this conversation to come across as the final product doesn't come out professional. Like it's still
Absolutely.
professional, but the process to get there is a little less stressful.
For sure.
And-
Just because
more fun.
it's very loosey goosey the whole way through. I mean, I
Yeah.
think
I try to bring that to
especially-
every session.
Absolutely.
I try to be Chris. I try to be more
Come
like
on.
Chris within like every
exactly.
session.
I think
The end goal here is that Chris is going to take over the podcast. And this is
I'll
Tune
see
in
you
next
later.
week. I think another huge part of it is coming in by yourself, having obviously guitar to record,
Yeah.
maybe throw a bass line in there. I'm not very good at drums, as you know, but I
But you
hop
play.
behind the drums
Yeah.
and I try. And there's definitely a pride, like you've offered to fill in or step in, and I won't let you
That's
because
fine.
there's this like this pride that I have. I want it to be all me.
Yeah.
But comparing that to working with a band
Yeah.
or another guy that you're rapping with, having full control over it. Not that I'm want to be a controlling person or anything.
No,
but
no,
it's
I
so
get it.
liberating knowing
Yeah.
when I schedule studio time, I just have to show up.
Yeah.
You know, if I'm trying to write the next part of this song, only that's up to me.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
if I don't work on it, then you don't get a text from me that week.
No, exactly. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
so, because I've been in projects in the like bands in the past, and or just bands that turn into weekly jam sessions.
Yeah.
You know, you show up, you play, and nothing really comes of it. And it's hard to with life. You know, it's just hard to get everyone on the
For
same
sure.
schedule, get everyone on the
100%,
same
man.
page. So,
And like you said, like there's something very, very liberating about you just being you. I feel like, especially in like the band dynamic, you kind of have to adhere to the tastes of absolutely everyone. So that's hard to kind of finagle all of that and just be like, okay, you. And it gets difficult, especially with my experience in like early bands and stuff like that, because there's almost like a prideful thing where it's just like, I need to do this because I'm this, and then sometimes egos honestly will get in the way.
Right.
So there's something about you just being you, and it's like I'm gonna take the reins here, and
Feels good.
It feels it's sick. Like,
and luckily, I have Eric behind
Exactly.
the computer
No,
who can
100%.
make my dreams come true. You know,
yeah, no, exactly, and you truthfully like
I'm like a genie.
just a little, no, like honestly, you need people like Eric with such like a positive mentality, and to just kind of like bounce off of each other back and
Absolutely.
forth. You come in with the positive mindset. He's already there, thinking like, hey, Chris is coming. It's coming to the amusement park, so to speak.
Right.
And it's just like we both have this mutual agreement of what this is going to be, and it's an awesome thing to just kind
Yeah.
of bounce off that.
Yeah.
No,
It's
is.
really uplifting.
Yeah,
I think so.
100%.
You know, and I want to bring that to every session.
Yes.
And I would hope that that's reciprocated.
Yeah.
You know, not just with Chris, but with other people. You know, they say, hey, I want to bring this kind of attitude to the session and really make it such a positive, fun experience for everybody.
No, 100%. And just, you know, like I feel like just in your shoes as like a business owner.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
just something you want for longevity.
Oh, yeah.
I want everyone to love my product
Yeah.
and appreciate everything. Like,
Well,
Yep.
yes, very true.
Yeah.
I mean, it helps the day,
yes.
you know, and it's funny because, you know, you personally come in for maybe an hour or two, maybe three sometimes. And that's like nothing. Like to me, you know, I've done 10-hour days with people that I love, and I'm like, this is a blast. That day rips by. Andrew and I do those days literally every time he's there. You know,
Applaud you guys for
They
that.
are.
yeah, like you know, it's a
3
10
hours does go by pretty quick though.
It does.
Yeah,
when you're working
and
on
all of a
something.
sudden the time goes, and you're like, yo, that was fun,
Right.
But you know, that ripped by, and I can't believe it's already over.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, but that's cool. But I think like, you know, with this hobby, as you call it, hobby artist,
Yes.
I don't think that you have to stay there if you don't want to. I feel like this whole hobby artist, quote unquote, is more of a mindset that you're currently in, and you could do whatever you want. You know, if at some point you start doing something, you're like, you know what, I love this. You don't have to be,
For sure.
you know, a
And I
quote
mean-
unquote hobby artist.
I mean, you guys do what you do because it's a hobby in a way, right?
Exactly. Well, like regurgitating what I was saying before, I just feel like there's something very anxiety relieving about that mindset.
Yeah,
It's like, even if like you chose to like, I'm just gonna go for it. I'm gonna try to like make, you know, $1 million out of it, like some wild goal like that. I feel like if you just kept telling yourself like, I'm doing this because I love it and it's a hobby.
Right.
I feel like that, just saying that out loud almost like alleviates
Feels good.
some of that stress.
yeah,
Of just like, okay, all right, there's goals there, but if I remind myself that, hey, the core of this is me just having a good time.
yeah. You don't want to lose
just-
sight of that.
Yeah.
You don't want to lose sight of the good time that you're having, which is so easy.
Right.
I think.
It really is.
I think it's easy to lose sight of the good time, and sometimes you're stressing out about X, Y, or Z. Mm-hmm. You just have to take that quick second, or a few minutes, be
Yep.
like, you know what? I wanted to do this. Like this
Exactly.
was supposed to be enjoyable. This is
100%.
supposed to be fun. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that's I think a really good takeaway.
Yeah.
You know, when you're in those moments and when you're recording music, because it happens all the time. You know,
It's
not to call you out.
Oh, it's happened. there was one recent vocal day.
Yeah. Yeah.
I need to take some vocal lessons.
Would you-
Just get in your head.
Right.
Yeah,
But-
sometimes it
but
happens.
one out of many, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
And I honestly still left
Yeah.
feeling good.
There you go.
Mission accomplished.
Right on.
Came back
Yeah.
stronger the next day. Yeah, sometimes things don't always come
Exactly.
out how you want it to. or-
We have ups and downs.
Absolutely.
Yeah. That happened with you, right? When you think you recorded a song in B and you decide, or not in B, maybe not in B,
Oh
but
yeah,
with
yeah. No, absolutely.
Yeah, and you're like,
and I was just like, that's not it.
I made a mistake.
Absolutely. I think as a songwriter, I tend to do that a lot. For me, honestly, for me personally, I always write vocal melodies that are end up being like way out of my reach. Like, just to be honest. Yeah. And it's just sometimes I'll pull through and something like, I guess as I'm developing more as a songwriter now, I have to be very mindful of those
reel it
things.
back.
And it's just like, it's funny. I think I was just telling you last week. It gets very interesting in my like small little apartment with my wife there when I'm like demoing things, because I'll just be like, yo, I got this sick vocal melody, and then our living room is like directly next to the side room that I just make demos in, and she'll just be like watching TV, and I'll just be like screaming my heart out in like melodies I obviously can't reach, and and I'm just like cracking and like everywhere. It's just a great time.
that voice crack.
She gets to hear all that.
That always happens. Oh man, I'm so thankful that I'm not pushing maybe not pushing myself in vocally just yet. Dude,
It's tough.
Everyone's figuring themselves out.
It seems so stressful.
It is stressful. Nobody likes.
Like, what do you think
Nobody
is the-
likes the sound of their own voice. I think that's kind of
Yes.
like what it comes back to.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. You're your worst critic.
Yeah, I could play my
Yeah.
guitar, change the tone, do whatever I want,
Right.
Do the drum thing, and I could critique it that way. But man, something with the voice, and I've noticed this with every vocalist.
Yeah.
No matter who it is, they listen to it, especially Chris. They listen to it and they're like, "Yo, that sucks." And I'm like, "What's wrong with it?" The pitch
Right.
is there, the inflection is great, like it's great,
Right.
But just something about it. You mentioned it. Was it
You're able to
yesterday?
hear things that no one else can because you're listening to you.
Definitely.
Yeah. And you're like,
what
"Oh,
I
just
do
hate
is
this."
take one. That sounds terrible. Let's do another one.
Yeah.
He knows to save the first take now that he likes. So then I try 2 or 3 more times,
There you
come
go.
back, and it's
Yes.
like, let's go with the first one. That was actually really not
Right.
too bad at all.
Yeah, because there's something about that too, like saying like, no, I can do better, when it's like, I think that was your
Maybe
peak,
you
and like, but sometimes like,
But
that's
it's good.
Yeah,
it's good. It's not even as the peak was eh.
It was like the
was
peak was
good.
great.
Sure.
You're just
Yeah, that
too
was
far gone in your head that
Yeah.
you'd be like, I could Madonna this. Don't worry.
Madonna.
Also, the old demoitis.
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 Eric's coined phrase.
Oh, yeah.
Coined term.
Come on, you get demoitis. Don't look at me like that.
It's weird that I've actually never heard this
What?
this term. What is demoitis?
I'm actually mind blown right now.
You probably never heard of it.
Okay, anyway,
the-
so demo.
I feel like
Context
wait.
clues.
So let me take
No,
a shot. Let me take a shot in the
Yeah,
dark
please,
real quick.
please, you got it. You can guess.
Is it
It's
when
easy.
you like when you? This, I could be way off.
No,
like, way off.
please,
It
please.
has nothing to do with your knees.
Is it when you become too like well acquainted with like the way the demo sounds?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So
Yeah. See, you know what
there
demo
was,
is.
you
there was
kinda
fear
have
of wanting
to-
to mess. I was gonna mess that up.
You have to the whole demo. So like your singing's not the best. You know
Right.
your guitar track isn't the best.
Right.
But you get so used to hearing it
Yep.
that you end up
Yep.
convincing yourself that it sounds great. It sounds how it's supposed to.
Right.
Which that can actually happen with your line of work a little bit more.
Yeah.
Especially if somebody comes in without or with having more of the song kind of structured out.
Right.
If you're saying, hey, you know what, I actually think this could work a little better, the person is generally inclined to be like, I'm not really.
I've been listening to it this way for months now.
Yeah, exactly. And you're like, well, you know what? I really think this could
Right.
add something really great to this. And just because they weren't used to it,
It became
they're listening to it
uncomfortable.
and they're like, oh, I don't like it. But you just give it a chance.
Yep.
You might enjoy it.
Right.
Sure.
Yeah, that demoitis, man. That's a
That's a scary place to be.
is.
yeah.
I feel like you definitely. It's always nice to have an outside opinion on your music.
That producer.
Right. It's funny. Gab,
Hey, how you doing?
Gabby's my producer. My wife's my producer.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I like.
Yo, that's
Give you that
sucked.
feedback.
I'm just like be brutally honest with me.
Sure.
That's
Every
awesome.
single time. She'll tell me. She'll just be like, listen. She'll listen to some occasionally and be like, yo, that sucked. Like,
That's good.
I'll be like, all right, sick.
That's good.
All right, I'm gonna go back in the room and try to figure this
Excuse
one
me.
out. Oh
That's
man,
too classic.
do you feel as if I do that enough?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so.
right.
Do I do it too much? Do you want me to back off?
No. If like you can never do it too much, honestly.
Sick.
I
I'm changing
think
everything about you.
we're doing a vocal makeover, music makeover. No, it's good to have the reassurance
Yeah.
that something sounds good
Yeah.
when the artist thinks it sounds bad.
Right.
Demoitis.
Yep.
And then obviously the flip side of that coin is probably even more important. Like
Yeah.
if I feel like you have a good understanding of like you sitting with these people, you probably catch on really quick to their potential, what they can do.
Oh yeah.
So when you hear something, you know, a take or whatever, you know, like you got something better in you.
Yeah.
And I love hearing those words when you say that. Like, I think you got a better one.
Yeah.
Like, thank you. Yes.
Yeah.
You know what? I do.
I do.
Matter of fact.
Yeah.
So no,
Positivity.
you bring that the perfect amount.
Oh, that's
What's going
great.
on, man?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. That's
Absolutely.
That's awesome,
Yes, sir.
man. Well, I think we're getting close to the mark here.
Okay.
But man, you bring a great energy.
You really do.
And
like I said, and you
yeah,
met
I
you for
appreciate-
5 minutes, and then boom. Like I walked in that door, you asked me about fishing. It was great. Like that was the kicker right there.
Absolutely. Breaking the ice.
But yeah, dude, I appreciate your perspective on being a musician and doing what you do, which is it's very difficult to do what you do. So I really respect it.
Likewise. Both
Coming
you
in
guys.
and just
Yeah,
sending it by yourself is not always the easiest thing.
It's a scary thing.
Yeah.
There's something about that too.
Yeah.
I think especially like maybe like the first or second time coming in, especially by yourself, regardless of whether or not you even know the person. Like that's
Right.
that's a freaky thing. So I applaud you for that.
It was fun. But Hooligans, still alive.
Oh,
New music.
Absolutely.
There you go.
New music in the making.
Yes,
Absolutely.
And likewise, I
Chris
respect
Milligan,
and
still
appreciate
alive. Music in the making.
it. I'm still alive.
Still here.
Music in the making.
I appreciate what you guys do too.
Oh, thanks.
Absolutely honored to
Yes.
be involved in the mixing. Thanks for mixing your mindset with
Thanks.
me.
No, this
Thanks
is
for letting
great.
me mix my mindset here.
Yeah, of course.
Hey, man.
All right, final things. What do you got to plug?
Plugging the Mount Airy Hooligans. There is new music in the works. I mentioned a hiatus. Don't take that the wrong way.
But there's also music out now, and it's still
and
great.
there is music out now. Absolutely.
Well, you might not.
Absolutely. No.
Judging by that
no,
response.
No, it's very great.
Wait, we got music out.
No, it's
And,
awesome.
Yeah, some solo.
Find the line about peanut butter sandwiches because it's the best.
Thank you. and some solo stuff where you can hear me play a bunch of instruments and
You got a gram?
try my hardest to sing. I do.
Yes.
Yeah, Graham.
What's your
yeah, great.
yeah, I got it. Gram.
Yeah, my grandma. UH Chris Milligan.
UH Chris Milligan.
Yeah.
Sick.
All right, man.
Thank you
Chris,
guys.
thank you so much.
Thank you.
Peace.
Peace.
Bye.